Number 4 from the review packet. Given f of x is equal to the square root of x plus 9 over 7, with x being greater than or equal to -9 so that we don't end up with any imaginary terms underneath, we get 3 things to ask. Evaluate f of 19, find f of -1, the inverse, and find f of the inverse of f. Okay, let's start with part A. Evaluate f of 19. So that means we're going to stick in 19 everywhere we see an x. So f of 19 equals the square root of, we have an x, that's going to be 19, plus 9 divided by 7. So in the square root, we have 19 plus 9, that's 28, divided by 7, that's going to be 4. So we have the square root of 4, which of course we know is 2. So the answer for part A is 2. For part B, the inverse. Just like number 3, we did the inverse. Remember, the inverse starts out as y equals. So we're going to say y equals the square root of x plus 9 over 7. And of course, we want to make sure that this is indeed a one-to-one function and thus has an inverse. And the square root function, if you remember, is the Karate Kid. It looks something like this, and so that would pass both of our tests. All right. So we first switch the x and the y. It means x is going to equal the square root of y plus 9 over 7. And then we solve. So to solve, the first thing we have to do is we have to square both sides. We got to get rid of the square root. That's how we get rid of a square root, is to square both sides. So that's going to give us x squared on the left equals y plus 9 over 7. Then we're going to multiply both sides times 7 next. So that's going to give us 7x squared on the left. And that's going to give us y plus 9 on the right. Then we're going to take this 9, and we're either going to subtract it or we're going to bring it from the right to the left, whichever way you prefer. You know, I like to just bring it on over, and it becomes a negative on its journey. And we have y equal to 7x squared minus 9, which is great. That's not our final, though. Remember that we want to, if we started with f of x, we want to finish with f of x. So ours is going to be f negative 1 of x equal to 7x squared minus 9. So we can have that here too. We can say that the f negative 1 of x is equal to 7x squared minus 9. All right, and finally the last one. Find f of its inverse, like fog and golf, but it's like fof, if you will, fof of inverse. And we could do this, but remember, by definition, this is always the same thing. So take advantage of that. The answer is always x by definition. And there we have it. Problem number 4 from the review packet.